Have you ever felt held back and didn't know why? Bam community, welcome back to the video today. So today I'm here to share my personal story of what I've been dealing with my whole entire life, and I think I'm ready to come out and share it. Today, I am announcing that I am dyslexic. Boy, I kind of figured that I had some type of learning disability. I didn't know what it was. My mom actually never told me about this. I literally found that out on my own. I had my old IEP meetings from my senior year, because when I used to go to college, I used to have to bring that into tutoring, but I never actually looked at it myself and actually figured out what it was. You know, I finally had the courage to look at the notes and was like, okay, damn, I'm dyslexic. So I think last week, me and my girl was looking at my paperwork, and I told her I was dyslexic, and I got kind of emotional thinking about it, because it's damn, I never would have thought it would have been me, but obviously it's me. So I'm here to talk about, I'm going to break down the videos into topics. So we're going to be talking about daily challenges, strategies and support, emotional impact, and then a hopeful closing. So pretty much a positive ending to all this, because I feel so that all this is a positive thing. I'm just sharing my personal story, because a lot of people out there may be dyslexic and they think that they're less of a person, because that's what I thought when I was dyslexic, but it's really not. It's just, it's harder for you to process a lot of things that are a lot. I would say it's just harder to process things, and it's a lot harder to comprehend things, I would say. So, if you are somebody that's dyslexic or just have a learning disability, don't feel like you're just out of sync, or you just don't feel like you're that person, And if you're that person that's trying, at least you're doing better than some people. Some people are at spring break in Houston, but we're not going to get into that. That's a whole nother conversation. But so this is daily challenges. So the first one was reading and writing. Oh my gosh, I could tell you that my handwriting is not the best, and honestly my reading has sucks. Honestly, I use ChatGPT a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't use it for my YouTube videos, but I do use them just to read out certain things, because there's some words I don't know how to say. So if somebody can give me a definition of a word, I may not know it off rip, so I might have to look it up in a dictionary or look it up through ChatGPT just to make sure that it's the correct word that I'm saying, because sometimes I can misuse words or misuse something that somebody may say, and I'm like, oh, what does that mean? Then I'm gonna have to look it up just to be on the safe side of things, just so I know what it is. Another thing, trouble following written instructions. So I mean, this is the thing, it's so hard to really follow written instructions. I could be building something, right? And to be honest, I built my whole entire setup. If you guys don't know, I built this whole entire thing, and to be honest, it took me about 3 days to build it, because it's I know how to look at instructions and build it, but when you're actually just looking at the parts and trying to figure out what goes where, it's 6, 7, it's just a lot. So it man, when you're dyslexic, it's kind of hard when you're just looking at written instructions and you're just trying to make sure what goes where, and it's it frustrates me to the point where it's damn, that's crazy. I don't know what's what goes where. That's why I'm not really a handyman as much, but I mean, I try to be as best as I can. I build my whole setup, by the way. So it's I'm just okay, I know how to build things, but it takes me a minute to get to those things that need to be built, or things I need to get done. Because I'll say if I have a dresser, which I am going to buy one, by the way, it has to get done by today, because I know that I have to edit, record, go to work, do all these other different things, hang out with my girl, call my mom, call grandma. I my time is very valuable. So it's I can look at something and be well, I'm gonna do it the next couple of days, and then when I get the next couple of days get here, and I'm just bro, I'm struggling with these instructions. So it's I gotta pay attention by detail. So it's when written instructions are right in front of me, I have to be locked in on those written instructions. That's my phone be on D&D. So because I know certain things are important that needs to get done. That's not even just building things. That's just everyday life. I can't just, if I know something needs to be paid attention to, I have to really put my focus to one, because I'm not a good multitasker at all. So the next one is just pretty much, I process things a lot slower. So if I'm reading something, or somebody's telling me something, or somebody's giving me an instruction, or somebody's giving a math problem, I would literally take my time to give a response. And it's not just because I want to hurry up and get a response or give that person a response. I just want to make sure that if I'm responding to something, I need to know what I'm responding to and how to say it in the right way, especially if it's a question or something that needs to be answered correctly, especially during a job interview. I was in college, so certain things got to be answered. Like it was certain different times where I'm in school where a teacher asked me a question like, so how do you feel about such and such? And I have to like really sit back and think about a lot of things before I give my answer. Because if not, then, they'll dock you for points and stuff like that. So, but it took me a lot longer to process things up here mentally. And honestly, it's a good and bad thing. But at the same time, like most of the times, the majority of the times I got the answers right. But it's like, I have to make sure that, that mentally I give out the right answers, and mentally that I'm making sure that I'm not just saying anything that is just like out there, I'm not nothing that doesn't make sense. I have to make sure that what I'm giving is the correct answer and the right answer. Most of the times you're never going to get the right answer. So I'm just saying most times. So the next thing we're going to talk about strategies and support. First one is work with a tutor. Man, I did that for a quick minute, for a quick second, but it's hard to do that because I was a student athlete. So it was very hard for me to go to the tutoring center and try to get help most times. But I was always with the study group and they always helped me. And to be honest, like you shouldn't want to do this, but I also cheated my way through college. It was all the answers online. Like it was crazy during COVID. Like, I don't think COVID would never happen. I don't think I'll have my associate's degrees. If I'm being so honest, I cheated my way through college through COVID. Like shout out to COVID-19 in some ways, a lot of people, I think COVID-19 really helped me in a way because I felt so that if I didn't have no way to cheat, I wouldn't be here today, especially with the associate's degrees. But that's not the point. The point is, make sure you always get your tutors, get help. That's why I always kept my IEP with me because when it comes to tutoring, getting help, I got to make sure I have that because I knew that I was very serious about my education since I was young. And I knew that I wanted to play college football. And I knew that I wouldn't get anywhere in life if I didn't, take care of my grades and have a great education, So I always make sure that I kept that on me and make sure I went to class every single day, even if it was in person or online or doing homework online or a class online, just making sure that I have everything together. So the next one is use audio speech. So pretty much like ChatGPT, it reads it back to you. I say use those type of things if you're having trouble reading words and just reading stuff in general, it's so important, especially I think English is my favorite major just because it challenges me to really dig deep and really, 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 I don't know, like I just feel like it challenges me to really it's just, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I don't know what I'm saying, chat. It just gives me a feeling where I'm just really pushing myself to the limit. It's just like, my mind and my brain telling me I can't do it, but mentally, my body, my soul, it's telling me that I can do it. So it's like, you want to I don't know, push yourself. Like, I don't want to be that type of person where I didn't push myself. So I knew that I would have to be able to push myself. So I think using audio, text and stuff like that helps you. But like I said, if you can try to do it on your own, just do it on your own and see if you can do it. But if you can't do it, then you use that stuff or you ask for help. In this situation, I always use the text audio just because it helped. Also, build a support system from a family, friends, etc. Find a group, find some people that may have disabilities just like you. This is the reason why I built this platform. So a lot of people don't feel like they're alone and I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm perfect, but this is the reason why I wanted to start this channel, just because everybody has their own different stuff that they got going on in life. And if I can be a voice to help somebody to become the best version of themselves and help them share their story and their testimony, all they want to do is going to probably do the same thing, help somebody else and share their testimony. So I would say starting a support group, starting something with your family, starting something with friends, starting something with somebody that may have the same disability as you, or may just want to help people just be aware of little things like this, can help somebody in the long run, I would say. So like I said, start that group, start something to get back to the people. If you even want to get back to people, just help somebody else in need. If you feel like you don't want to give back, so it's exactly what I do, and I love it. So the first one is going to be affect confidence. So when I found out that I was dyslexic, even though I kind of had it for a while since birth, I got emotional about it just looking at the paperwork last week, just because of the fact that, I was like, damn, bro, I can't believe this is like me, it kind of just, I don't know. It just puts me in the stage where I'm like, damn, like, can I really live my life how I want to? Like, You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna allow this one little thing that's gonna stop me just because I don't know how to, read correctly or process things a lot faster than people, does not make me not a human being just like everybody else. Everybody bleed just how I bleed. Only thing that's different, you got male, female, and that's pretty much it. And to be honest, like I never ever thought that this could ever be me, me being dyslexic and me just struggling with words and numbers and just processing things. It definitely did kind of like have like a shock on me, like in my confidence, especially when I was a kid. Like as a kid, I wasn't as confident, but as I got older over the years, as I gotten older over the years, I started to gain more of the confidence because as I got older, I just don't care anymore. Like I think that's a true statement. As you get older, you just don't care about a lot of things, and also can hurt your self esteem. Man, like I said, some things may be shockers to people. Some things may be like, it's just tough. Like it definitely could just really just be like a disbeliever or just something that just hurts. Filling up frustration. Yeah. And it's crazy. I used to feel frustrated all the time, especially like my seventh, eighth grade year. I was bullied as a kid. That's actually going to be my next video too. I wasn't bullied physically, but I was bullied mentally just because how the way I talked, how the way I looked, what clothing I had. My mom wasn't always the one that always had money. So, she sent us with the best she could. And I really appreciate that, It just, I was really bullied mentally. And I just didn't like that. But it's definitely something that definitely bothered me when I was younger. Sorry about that. I was over here stuttering I'm over here stuttering over my words. And just let you guys know, I'm back full time. It's just I'm very nervous talking on camera. Once I start to do this more and more often, like I have a schedule now when I'm having to do this, but when I'm talking more and more often, you guys will know the confidence will come in and kick in talking on camera, because talking on camera is probably one of the hardest things to do. So yeah, just bear with me. The next one is feeling behind others. So yeah, I mean, when you're dyslexic, you feel behind when it comes to like I said, reading, doing numbers, math, just little things, man. I really do feel behind on a lot of things. So that's not even just even education wise. It was football too. I remember one time we were doing up downs, and like mentally, like I just wasn't at football practice. And even though I was at football practice, I couldn't tell what my left from my left from my right was in that moment, just because I was so like frustrated. And Cameron, where's your left? And I just didn't answer. And he was like, down, and then the next day we go to school, and then these guys, laughing at me because I don't know my left from my right. And it's like, man, like I just was not in a good spot. So I kind of felt like behind in life when I couldn't really answer that question in that moment. It's crazy. Like I always told myself as a kid, like, I know what I'm going through right now in my life. I know I wasn't alone. I knew somebody out there was going through what I was going through, but I just never, never would have thought they would ever go through what I experienced. As a kid, I never really want anybody to, well, I didn't know I was dyslexic back then, but when I was dyslexic, or when I was a kid, when I first found out, no, actually not even when I first found out, when I was younger, when I didn't know I was dyslexic, like I knew other people were just like me. They probably would struggle with words. I know they were just going to struggle with everything. And, so now we're going to get down to the hopeful close. If this relates to you in any way, man, you are not alone. If you're dyslexic out there, just know I don't wish this on anybody. It's millions of people that are dyslexic in this morning. And I promise you that they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop having people that are not going to be dyslexic. We may even run into somebody tomorrow that may be dyslexic. So understand that you're not alone. You're, like I said, there's a lot of people out here that is dyslexic. Just remember that you're not alone. And I do believe this one though. There is a way forward though. Like I don't feel like when you're dyslexic, your life just stops. Like it doesn't. I mean, it may stop you for a couple of seconds to try to figure out how to spell a word, but I mean, you just got to move forward. Like, I just feel so that stuff like that does not determine who you are as a human being. It may just have a title to your name, being like, well, I'm dyslexic, that's about it. But I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to move forward and try to be the best version you can for yourself. And then my last one, encourage people to get help and just keep going. Like, I really feel so that this is the reason why I wanted to make this video, because everybody thinks I'm just this perfect guy and I got a nice setup, I do content, and it's like, to be honest, like, I'm not a perfect guy, bro. I made a lot of dumb mistakes, and I'm telling you this off rip. I did a lot of dumb stuff, and you know, and it's nothing I can do about it, you know. And to be honest, like, all I want to do is keep going and keep moving forward, you know. I feel so that a lot of people make excuses for themselves, and to be honest, I never wanted to be that type of guy to make excuses for themselves. And I always wanted to figure out how to beat the odds or overcome the odds. When something is knocking you at your front door, when you're getting beat up, when somebody's socking you, beating you up, are you going to just sit there, or are you going to get up and try to fight back? And my thing is, I always wanted to get up and fight back, because I'm not going to lay down and conquer for the next man just to say that he won. No, that's what the devil's going to do. You know, God's going to continue to push me and continue to put me in uncomfortable situations for me to become the best version of myself and overcome the odds. And I really do believe that that's what he's doing right now in my life. Not even just being dyslexic. That's just everything that goes on in my everyday life. So other than that, BAM community, I appreciate it, man. And honestly, I don't want anybody judging somebody just because they're dyslexic. Try to help somebody, you know. I mean, like I said, I was made fun of all my life for not knowing how to read and write at a efficient level. Obviously that, I don't know, that devastated me. But at the end of the day, I turned out pretty okay. I don't have no kids. The system doesn't own me. I have a great relationship with my mother. I'm not a father yet, but I'm gonna be a great father. It's just a lot of things in my life that that's gonna come together for me. But other than that, BAM community, I appreciate you guys, and I hope my story helped you guys, and I want you guys to become the best version of yourself. But other than that, I love you guys. BAM community, I'm out.